Hi guys, welcome to another Touch of Film. Today I've just gone from seeing a special screening of Blade the Immortal, one of the films I've been most excited about watching this year, directed by Takeshi Miike. In fact, it's his 100th movie. The movie stars Takeuchi Kimura as Manji. This is one of the. It's a film based on a manga written by Hiroki Samura. He's a very famous manga. I've read a few of the books myself. Absolutely brilliant. Manji is the main character, played by Takeuchi Kimura. Also, you have another character called Rin Asano, played by Hana Susaki. Sorry. And you also have Anutsu Kajisha, who's the main bad guy, played by Sota Fukushi. Sorry. This is the story of it's a story of a samurai. He basically gets into a skirmish and kills 100 other samurais, including his brother-in-law, which leads to his sister going crazy because of the loss of her husband. So he's there looking after her after the death of her husband, and this also leads to him having a bounty on his head. And what happens is a bounty killer led by loads of samurais come to get him. They end up killing his sister, and from the anger of killing his sister, he completely wipes them all out. During the battle, he's mortally wounded. He's on his deathbed, and from there, a witch comes up to him and gives him these bloodworms, which go into his body and make him completely immortal. They heal all his wounds and just live inside his body like parasites, really. And then the film really starts like 50 years after this, when he meets Rin, who is a female character. She's just come from seeing her father being murdered and her mother being kidnapped by Anotsu, played by Fukushi. He's like leading this massive group of samurais, which are forming their own massive dojo. They want to have their own school of swordsman worship, and basically they're going around forming going to other dojos and saying, "Join us. If not, we'll murder you." And this is what happens to Rin's father, who owns his own dojo. He's murdered because he won't join them. And then the film really starts there, to the point where Rin, she's so angry with Anotsu that she wants to get revenge, and that's where she meets Manji, who then goes on to get vengeance for her. So the film is like just this violent vengeance film. It is just brilliantly shot. The first massacre fight scene is just done in black and white. It's like the prologue of the film, which like builds the story of Manji, tells his story, and then from the moment he gets the bloodworms, the film just goes into beautiful colour. When I say colour, it's mainly red with blood, because the film is just absolutely violent. And what you expect from a Miike film is just absolute crazy violence, and just like trickled with just funky, funny dialogue, which is just a classic of Miike films from his old like V cinema days. In the sense like the Dead or Alive movies, you get some really cool dialogue. and the characters in this film. There's just so many cool characters. You've got one other samurai who also has bloodworms, who's on Onotsu's side. You have one guy who just, his hair goes white, and everyone's got these different skills, and they're all different characters, and it's just, you can see that Miike's brought this book alive into live action, and it's not like many mangas that have been made into live action movies. I mean, Ghost in the Shell was poorly done. Terraformers, another Miike film, was just awful. And also, like, I mean, in terms of the ones I've seen, this is probably one of the best ones done. And the action is just absolutely brilliant. I mean, yeah, it's a violent film, but it's done brilliantly, and it's funny. I mean, Miike is hit and miss. He hasn't done that many good films for a while. I mean, 13 Assassins was probably his last great movie, and Harakiri, I think they're probably the last ones he's done, which were like brilliant. And you know, he has these gaps with not so good movies, great movies, not so good movies, like a few masterpieces. I mean, no one's going to think it's an Ishida Killer or Audition. Those films were his masterpieces. But is it a return to form? I mean, it's difficult to say if it's a return to form, because I do think it's better than most of his recent movies. I think it's a lot better than his recent movies. Would it be his best movie? No. Would it be in his top 5? No. Top 10 maybe? Top 20? I think definitely in his top 20 movies that I've seen of his. So it is a return to form in some ways. He'll never make a film probably as good as Audition or Ichida Killer. They are his best work, as well as Dead or Alive. And I think, you know, not all directors that have bad spells ever return to form. I mean, look at, for instance, Francis Ford Coppola. Did he ever make another film as good as The Godfather 1 and 2? No, but he still made great films. And I think the same can be said about Miike. I mean, he is one of the most influential directors in Japan. I mean, in cinema, in worldwide cinema, really. I mean, some of his films have just really set standards. They've changed the way we look at cinema, and I think, it is a return to form. It's up to discussion, but I think it is a return to form, but not at the level that people might expect for as Audition. And the film itself, I think, is fantastic. I really want to see it again. I know it's going to have another release on the 20th of November before it gets a general release in December. So I really can't wait to see it again. It is absolutely fantastic, and I think I will definitely get it on Blu-ray 100%. It is absolutely fun. It's fantastic. Great movie. One of my best films of the year, and it was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. So thankfully, I'm happy about it. I've been let down with a few of the films from this year, but this one is definitely one that, you know, I was pleasantly surprised about. I thought it was another great Miike film. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Please hit subscribe, put like or dislike, comment below, tell me what your favourite Miike film is. I mean, most people probably say Audition or some of his older stuff with the V Cinema stuff, which, you know, some of it was absolutely fantastic in the olden days. But please comment, guys. Until then, take it easy, and I'll see you soon.